None of us want to be in good shape and then sacrifice our productivity, but also no one wants to just be productive and then end up looking like a slob. Now this is what I realised, that I wanted both, and it took me years, but I finally figured out the perfect formula. A blend between looking like a lean, aesthetic Hollywood superhero and being able to perform like a productivity guru. And in this video, I'm going to break down the exact process. So point one, you want to be lifting heavy at least 3 times a week. And when I say lifting heavy, I actually mean going balls to wall and pushing your body to the max with just these 3 sessions. You don't need 4, don't need 5, don't need 6, and you definitely don't need 7. When you're in the gym pushing the heavy weight, you're going to be increasing your testosterone, you're going to be increasing your human growth hormone, and obviously you're going to be increasing your muscle mass, which is going to help you develop and actually enhance your physique outside of any other exercise that you can possibly do, right? Because muscle mass is a direct correlation to aesthetics. That's just how it goes, and the best way you can build that muscle is through heavy lifting. On the productivity side, lifting heavy and going to the gym using resistance training increases your stress tolerance. I want you to think of stress sort of like a kettle that's just always full. If you don't let the steam out, this is when it builds up, and this is where you're going to get burnt out and crash and not being able to focus, and you make silly mistakes in your life. If you are training heavy 3 times a week, I promise you, your stress tolerance will be so much higher. You'll be able to handle more difficulties, more challenges, and not only that, you are building an incredible physique at the same time. Now, when it comes to these 3 heavy sessions, I recommend you focus on these compound movements, such as squats, deadlifts, pushes, presses, or pull-ups. And you want to focus not just going to the gym and doing these willy-nilly. You want to focus on increasing the strength or the reps or the difficulty of these movements each week. And I promise you, if you just focus on that, and you do this for 1 year, you will be a completely different person from the start to finish. And just a bonus point with this is, I would focus personally on building more of a V-taper body, meaning that you have broader shoulders, wider back, and a narrower waist. So if you can combine that with a good amount of body fat percentage, let's say 10 to 12%, that's going to be ideal for that Hollywood aesthetic physique. But even if you're just going to the gym, lifting heavy and progressing, your body will have an improved body composition just from doing that and nothing else. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is to prioritize whole foods. Now this will just completely throw a blanket over nutrition to make your life way easier. If you're prioritizing whole foods, the likelihood is that you will get leaner with so much ease. You'll be eating better food that's going to have more protein in there. You're going to be having more nutrients in your diet. So just focusing on these whole foods is going to be a sort of domino effect that just takes hold of your physique just like that. Now, from a physique point of view, yes, you get leaner, etc., build more muscle, but also if you're having more whole foods, there's going to be less processes, less sugars in that food, which means that you will have a smaller spikes of insulin. So if you are constantly eating processed food and you constantly spike your insulin, that spike leads to a crash. And when you get that crash, that is when you feel lethargic, burnt out, can't focus, have no drive, don't want to go to the gym and things like that. It's because your blood sugar is high and then your blood sugar is low. What you want to do is try to keep that as stable as possible, and it is way better if you prioritize whole foods for that. Now I'm going to give you a list of just my general weekly shopping list, so you can take literally what I'm eating and apply it into your life. So for carbs, it's usually rice, potatoes, brown bread, bananas, and oat biscuits. For proteins, it's eggs, chicken, either thighs or breast depending on how I'm feeling, beef, and then fish. And then for fats, my fats are just olive oil and natural butter. Now you've got to understand that these organic foods that I'm talking about, they are way more nutrient dense as well, meaning that they are faster absorbed into your body and your body can actually use them to improve their processes all the way from muscle building to sleep and focus. So just prioritize your whole foods. You should be going through your day looking at each of your meals and thinking, is this whole? Is this coming from the ground? And the more of those you say yes to, the faster you will get in better shape and the better your productivity will be. Point number 3 is a morning fast. I recommend you wake up and you just have a black coffee or drink water for the first few hours of the day. And this is going to help boost your focus massively, because we spoke about it just before, that you don't get that spike in blood sugar leading to a crash. So you can literally work like a horse with like laser focus. And it also helps with your fat oxidation, because you're going to be in a process of ketosis for a little bit where you've got no carbs in the system. Now it may be small, but I found it helps a lot. So what I do is just delay that first meal a couple of hours into your day, which is just going to be a simple thing you can do, which has 2 benefits, which I mentioned here. And as a bonus of this, when you're in that fasted, high focus, high alert state, you want to start with your most difficult task then. So you do the high leverage day. So you work out what's the most important thing, what's the hardest thing that I need to do, get that done, then you have a momentum boost for the rest of the day. Now, point number 4 is you want to systemize. So you want to have simple, followable steps for these areas in your life, such as your fitness and your work. Now, when it comes to fitness, you want to have a workout program that is set in stone for your days that you can actually do. So make this sustainable, right? If you're running a business and you don't have much time throughout the week, then just have 3. But if you're a student and you've got more time, then you can have a little bit more. But the key is finding a plan that you can actually stick to on your most busiest weeks. Because like I said, that's what's going to help you build that muscle and improve your stress tolerance. So you should be having a program with that. That program should have your exercises listed out. It should tell you exactly what sets and reps that you did last week, so you can actually focus and improve them. You don't want to go into the gym with no plan, because then what's going to happen, you ain't going to see no results. So that's step 1 with the fitness. And then for your work, you want to have a task list of what you need to get done for the day. Starting, in my opinion, from the most hardest, so the high priority, and then towards the end of the day, the low priority. So that way you are winning the day no matter what you do. And you also want to become an absolute wizard with time management. You want to be knowing exactly where your hours are going. And now the key to this is you don't want to make yourself a prisoner to your time. You want to actually create a day that you know you can actually do. So don't just say, I'm going to work for 6 hours in the morning and then train for 3 hours. No, that's not realistic. Make days that you can actually do. So I'll, for example, wake up in the morning, work on my business first for a couple of hours. Then I'll usually eat. Then I might read, do a little bit more work, let the food digest. Then I go to the gym, hit the sauna, get my relaxation in, come back, do a little bit more work. Then in the evening, I might chill out, watch a TV show, read a book, etc. So it's actually a day that I can realistically do. But the key is that you're actually being accountable for your time. And you're being accountable for what you need to do. And when you do that, you will actually see progress in your fitness and your life and your productivity. So my recommendation is that the night before you start the next day, go on Google Calendar and just plan out your hours, what you need to do. And the thing is, even if you hit this day with 60-70% accuracy, you will still be 60-70% more productive than if you didn't plan it out. So keep that in mind. And point number 5 is supplements. Now there are 2 supplements that I found that have genuinely changed my life. Number 1 is creatine, and number 2 is having electrolytes. Now creatine is super good, especially for training in the gym. When it comes to strength, when it comes to HIIT workouts, cardio, whatever it is, it provides your muscle with the energy to work out. And also it is really good for brain function. Many studies have found that it helps your executive function, helps you with focus, creativity, and being able. So that's one big supplement I definitely recommend that you take, especially if you are in a muscle building phase. Definitely take creatine. Now, the second one, like I mentioned, is electrolytes. Now, electrolytes are minerals within your body which help your body do certain processes like, contract your muscles, helps with nerve function, and loads of other bodily systems. Now, these electrolytes need to be in balance with water within your cells, so keep that in mind. Now, what happens when you do exercise, especially like a leg day, or for me, if I go to the sauna, your body's going to lose both the electrolytes and the water from those cells. Now what you normally do is you go and you get a bottle of water and you just drink that after your session. So what's happening there is your cells are being fueled again with water, but the electrolytes that you've lost, the sodium, the potassium, the magnesium from the sweat, that's not being replenished. So what you want to do is have electrolytes to help replenish the balance in your cells, so you have both water and those minerals from the electrolytes as well. You can easily buy electrolytes with these mixed in. I'd recommend having one with sodium in for sure. And I personally would have them on days where you're going to work up a good sweat. So if you're playing a sport, you're doing a leg day, you go into the sauna, definitely implement electrolytes after that to replenish your body stores. Now, if you do these things that I've mentioned and do them regularly, you will see massive transformations in your physique and your productivity. You will become a new human being. Now, if you want help and tips to implement this personally within your life, you can click a link in the top of the description to have a free discovery call with me to see how we can do that for you. But that is it from me. Goodbye.